at the start it was a bit awkward because, I mean, you're both sat there dressed in white overalls and a gimp mask, and you know, it's not what you'd usually expect from a dinner party at all.
I think at first, like, it's a bit weird, but then I think it comes down to, you know, you kind of pick up things about them anyway, and you just, if the conversation is flowing, you just carry on. It doesn't really come across. I think it's more. I think if the conversation wasn't happening, then I think you'd focus more on why you're sitting across from someone who's dressed like a gimp. It's quite difficult. The rubber really constricted around the jaw, so it's almost like you're having to do extra work to try and chew stuff, and it also just felt really weird trying to swallow it afterwards. Like, just everything felt a bit constricted. Also, sort of the breathing and sort of around the eyes, just the fit of the whole thing. There's a big difference in comfort. It didn't feel very nice wearing it over the face. It's a different situation, so it's sort of, I suppose when you're having dinner, you're trying to relax, and actually, I think this way you're not really relaxed at first. It's it's putting you in a slightly awkward situation. It's testing your testing how you like your sort of feelings about that sort of situation. I didn't think I think it affected more at the start, but I think the longer it went on, I think the less the more your inhibitions kind of go back to, you know, you act the way you are, in a way.
It was really difficult to eat, actually, because you'd have the fork and you'd be able to see the food to a certain part, and then you just lose track of it. You know, eyesight wise, so you sort of had to guess the rest of the way. So it was a bit messy towards the end.
The overalls were fine. I think it's just because you're. I think the thing with the face mask is it constricts your sort of movements. It's a bit harder to talk. It's obviously your skin can't breathe, so it gets a bit sweaty. So it just does feel quite uncomfortable.
Definitely strange. Obviously, it was very strange. I mean, he's wearing a gimp mask, so it's not what you'd usually expect. It's not the usual dinner attire.
Really, once we got into the swing of things, it kind of didn't really matter. Maybe we could be a bit more flippant and stuff, but really I think it's quite sort of similar. A lot harder to break down that first barrier, because you talk, you sort of, you know, you interact with people dependent on how you see how they're reacting. So you look at their facial features, the way they talk, their mannerisms. So this kind of takes away quite a lot of that. But then if you know the person, I think you can fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah, I think it's almost where your identity is almost hidden. You feel like you can get away with it. I noticed that there was a few crude comments coming out, like both of us, that you probably wouldn't say with the mask off, but where you had the mask on, you know, you feel like you're getting away with it almost, because it's not actually you, or you know, you've got your identity hidden, so you can almost say something that's probably not socially acceptable. No, definitely not socially acceptable. No probability about it.
Yeah, I'd do it again. Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, just how I am. You know, I'd always try something different. I think it's always good to try different things. It was quite a cool experience. Definitely a story.
And can you sum up the experience in one sentence for me?
A very strange but interesting social experiment.
And finally, in one sentence, can you sum up the experience for me?
No.